a plant video today. I'm actually doing a car video. Specifically, this is a 2018 Mini. BMW makes, I guess, the engines, I think, for the Mini, but it's a Mini Cooper Convertible. A lot of the other ones, I think, were F56. This is an F50. The convertibles, it's either S or F57. I'll post the model number. It's almost the same as the other video I watched. I want to give kudos and a thanks to the other guy's video, who I forget his name right now, but I'll put a link or a picture of his video. Was spot on. It was perfect. Gave me the confidence and the know-how to do this one. One minor thing is all I saw, the difference between the convertible and the non-convertible, and it's so minor I don't even know if it's worth mentioning, but you're going to see it, and you'll see what that difference is. So without any further ado, let's get right into this. So I've already pre-loosened everything, and all the bolts we're going to touch the orange, and the ones I didn't want to paint, I put an orange sticker, so you'll see everything that needs to come out done. First thing, we're going to start with the 10mm socket. There's two nuts that come off here. First one, second one, and then there's an actual bolt over here. So that's all you got to do to get the first piece off. And then literally just pull up on it. That's it. This comes undone. The next one, this one's a little trickier, and I'll tell you why I found it trickier, although I got it out without a problem. You've got a hose clamp here, and I believe I used a 7mm to loosen the hose clamp, although you can use a flathead screwdriver if you want. And there is a oxygen sensor here, and there's a clip to it. The other guy's video, he reached underneath and he got the clip. I'm not really good with clips. I've broken a fair share, although I've gotten better lately, but I want to show you how I did this, because I didn't just take the clip off right away. So once, everything's out, I can feel it's loose, I loosened this, right? And then what I did was I tried my best to pull it back. This just pulls up, and I pulled this up, and then what I did was and you got to be careful because the wire's here. I was able to separate it from there, and then once it was separated, I was able to turn it like that. And when I was able to turn it, I could see the clip. The clip, there's a little, you got to press this little white thing, or you pull up on that white thing. So that white thing, let me get a little, hey. Yeah, this little white thing here, it comes out. So you can see it goes in, out. When it's underneath, I guess if you were careful enough and you got a screwdriver, you could just pull it out and then just pull it off the sensor. Me, I was a little paranoid, so I flipped the thing upside down so I could see the clip, and I took it off that way. So this is the second piece that comes out, O2 sensor. Just put that over there. We're done with that. Now we got the O2 sensor. We just push that aside. You can just leave your hose clamp on there. So then the next thing is, I believe we're dropping down to 8mm. 1, 2, and then here's the 3. So these are your 3. 1, 2, 3. They come out 8mm. Set those aside. Now over here, this car actually did not have, I guess someone else already took off the little pressure clamp here. You just take a flathead screwdriver, put it on the flathead, or if you have a trim removal tool, you can use that, and you just pop it up, and then this piece will pop up here. And like I said, this car, someone already lost the clip. They're easy to lose. I have a whole box of them. And then this clip just pops out, and then when we're done, we'll just push it back in. So that's the little clip for that. Now most of this is done. Now it's time to get the weathering off. So the first thing is you pull up on this guy. You'll see there's another little clip that you don't have to take out right here, and he just pushes down in that hole, and we can just tuck him aside like that. And you shouldn't have to go too far. And then this just pulls up, and once again we can just tuck this aside. When that's done, this little plastic piece will come off. It just slides up underneath in there like that. It's held down by that little clip, and then it comes up and you're done. So that's that little plastic piece. This little piece will come off then next, right here. You can just, actually no, that doesn't come off yet. We have one other thing to do before we get that off. So there are the 3 little plastic things you turn here. 1, 2, 3. We're going counterclockwise on all of these. And now here's the difference that I noticed between the convertible and the non-convertible. And maybe I just spaced out on it, but what it looked like to me was these little 2 screws here were not on the non-convertible, the S56. We have one here and one here. They're just 2 little plastic nut washer things. Try to do it like that. And they just go on those 2 things. So those come off. You've already loosened those 3. Now you can just pull this piece off and it comes out. Set that aside. Now you're ready to take the top piece off of here. With those 3 screws that we took out earlier removed, this will lift up like that. This is that piece. That's all there is to it. Now you start to see the battery. That's a wonderful thing. We're almost home now. We got this far. We're just about ready. So zoom in here. There's one 13mm screw here that I already loosened before this. Zoom in down here. There's another 13, so I got a 13 there and a 13 there. You can take them both out if you want. They look like this. Those come out. This whole piece will then just lift up like that. Now you really can see the battery. And then there's the bracket down here. Get a zoom in on here. This is the bracket, one more 13mm, and this is the bracket that actually bolts and holds that battery down. Take the whole assembly off, set it aside. Now your battery is basically ready to come out once we loosen those. And I believe those are 10mm there and 10mm there. Yep, they're 10mm. All right, so I got 2 10mm to take off now. All right, so I'm gonna do the positive first. Loosen this up. And that should give me relief on there. Loosen the negative as well. So now both of those should be loose so I can start wiggling them. Now the one thing the other guy brought up, and this is a very good thing, we're using the memory saver, which means I've got a motorcycle battery. That's a 12 volt on the floor, and it's hooked up to the OBDCheck connection with 2 alligator clips. So because of that, even when I take these terminals off, the battery's still going to be live. He used the shop rag. I've done this before. I like to either use hats or gloves, but either one will work. We just got to make sure that when we take these off, they don't hit metal anywhere. So for this guy, boy, he's a tight fit too. That one wire, I might remove that wire just because it's super tight on this thing. I could get it off, but I don't want to risk yanking a wire out. So I guess there's another variance on the convertibles. My wires are a little bit tighter. Yeah, it is 12mm. My wires are a little bit tighter, I guess, on the other video I watched. So in order to deal with that, slide that back down, loosen that. I'm going to take this off. That's going to allow me to loosen that up. I'm going to put that over here in the rubber, hopefully. I can loosen that up, hopefully. Put that over here in the plastic. That should have got me. Yeah, that got me just the. Now I can move this up. So I did have to take that off on this. The guy in the video, he didn't have to do that. Lucky him. So now the negative's loose. Okay, so the negative's up. I just put him up. Now again, these are live, so I don't want to let them just bang around. So I'm going to take my hat, cover that up, and I guess I'll do the same thing to the negative, even though the negative shouldn't really matter. I'm going to do it anyway. So now I got both my hats covering the terminals. And you got to take the zoom in here. You got to slide out the vent, so the vent comes out. And I should be ready to just slide this battery out this way. And these things are freaking heavy. Heavy. Yeah, this isn't the original battery. This is Interstate, it says. So somebody already swapped this once. All right. Oh, boy. Mamma mia. So, zooming over here. There's that. And yep, they look about right. We're gonna get the terminals ready on this guy. I got its terminal brush. Get any wax or anything else that might be left over from the factory on these guys. I like to scrape up the sides just in case, make a better connection. Now we got to do the rings, the felt rings. There's the one for the positive, there's the one for the negative. Make sure I didn't get anything on the terminals, which I don't think I did. That's all. So it's ready to go back in, this heavy son of a gun. Alright, up we go. Slowly come back down in here. And we're in. Sliding it forward like it should be. Start off with the negative side. Undo my hat. Slide him in there. Now let's go back to the positive side. He's gonna go on like that. And then I've got two things to put on like that and that. Seems to be good enough. Back down to, I think it was a 10mm for these. Make sure this is on all the way down. Just snug, don't over torque those because you'll break the terminal clamp. Nice and snug, but not too crazy. Alright, so looks like all that's back on. Now, if you want to test this before putting it all back together, I'm going to give you a little cheat. The other guy didn't do this. Now, these cars will not run without their mass airflow sensor hooked up. So, I want to make sure this battery works before I throw it all back together, which means you're going to have to find your mass airflow sensor. And again, don't drive the car like this, but if you're just going to be testing, you can easily just do this just to test. I'm just going to hook the mass airflow back up. Just going to leave it like that. Again, we're not taking this car out of the garage. I'm just seeing if it turns over and starts the engine, which it should right now. And also, now they got the battery hooked up, I can also take off the memory saver. I'll show you how that goes. So here we are again. There's the motorcycle 12 volt. And I'll give you a view of what the memory saver looks like. It just plugs into your OBD2 port, and then it just has two little alligator clips, 1 and 2. That's the whole memory saver right there for you. And there we have it. If you don't hook up that mass airflow, it's not going to start. Just FYI. I know that because that's how I test bad mass airflow sensors. Is I start the car, and if I unhook it right now, it should stop. If the mass airflow's got an issue and all that, sometimes it'll keep running. That's how you know to replace the mass airflow. So anyway, so we got the new battery working. Let's go put the rest of it back together. Basically reversing what we did. A few little, I don't know, caveats along the way I figured out. I'll be glad to share with everybody. Again, the other guy's video was spot on. I got no gripe against that, but there are just a few things I saw along the way. That so make sure you got the valve and the vents all hooked up. The back one goes on the back side. The front one goes on the battery. Clamp needs to go in first. So I just wanted to point out, I put this on backwards before. You should be able to see the BMW should be pointing towards you when you put this on, not the other way around like I did it the first time. So BMW logo needs to be pointing towards you. And then you tighten this down. And the wire, which I pulled up before, needs to go in this little slot. So if you pull that wire out by accident, it needs to go in there. Once it's all done right, this panel should go in relatively easily. You can see there's a clearance here for the battery bracket, and the rest of it should just all line up without too much trouble, which mine does. Sort of does. There it is. Okay. Alright, so now it's all lined up. So now the two other 13mm bolts are going back in. One goes there, one goes up here. One there, one up here. Snug, but don't over tighten it. Okay, so all those are done. Now I can put the top piece on. This top piece you're going to see over here. Flashlight there, where that little bolt is. There's a little indentation that goes there. So those two go, and then there's the three wood screw looking things that screw up into here. Again, these are, I believe, the 8mm. These don't have to be super tight, at least not right now. I can kind of hand tighten them. Just hand tighten them for now. Yeah, so what was throwing me off is you gotta get the underneath that piece of rubber before you tighten these down, and then it'll tighten without any problems. Yep, now it's in. Make sure my cup there is lined up. Everything else looks like it's supposed to. Yep, that's all the compartments around the battery. Now I can put the long snake cable back. So this piece, you pull that back. Oh, look at that. He actually goes under that bolt. So I gotta loosen that up again, just slide him up underneath there. So he'll loosen up like that. He'll slide in like there. Now we do this bolt for the second time. Good, now that's being held. Now I got to put that little push. Here goes the push piece. I put that piece in first. Yep, that goes in. And then I push in the top piece like that. And then that's in. Keep going with the snake. Snake comes in like that. Make sure he's down. There's another push pin that doesn't come off. Make sure you push that in so this stays snug. There's only one on that side, and that's it. And this is basically the top plastic put back around the battery that's in the car. We can pull off our stickers now. At least not. I'll do this later. But the stickers I just put there to show everybody. So this whole top piece looks like it's back together. Now we got to do the air part and then the final trim piece. So for this air piece, I want to show you there's a hole here and a hole here, and these, and get those, and on the bottom of this there's one protrusion there, another like nipple there. These there's no screw or anything, they just slide into there when you push this in. So what I do is I try to line up the best I can where those are going to go down into here. Because you got to line this up, otherwise this box will bounce around. Again, snug is good. So my hose clamp is tightened down. Sensor clicks back in place, that's a good thing. Last 3 screws. The tall one that goes here to hold the airbox. Again, these are 10 millimeters. Actually, I don't know if I put him in. I might have to do the last piece. Let's see. So this piece goes up in there. No, I don't. I can put him there. Alright, so get my 10 millimeter back. And finish off the job. This just tightens up here. Snug is fine. 2 last little nuts that go on here. One goes there. Start them by hand. I'll just do these by hand. Do the final torquing with the wrench. Again, you don't have to go crazy on the torque, just hand tight's good on that. So now, the last 2 pieces, what made the convertible different from the other video, these 2 guys, and they come up over here. They go up over here, and if we did this right, these screw on by hand. You don't even need a tool. These are hand tight, and they just screw on like that. I don't even know what size they are because I took them off with my fingers, and I'm putting them back on. Just hand tight with your fingers. And that's basically it from the mechanical part. Now we got to do the Bimmer Fest software, whatever that's called, and we got to program the car until it's got a new battery, which I'm about to do. And OBD2 on the port of the car, and then in my Android phone I had to go and pair it. The code was 1234. Was the code, so it shows up as a paired device. Now I go to the BimmerLink app, and from the BimmerLink app, make sure you're getting this close enough. I hit connect, and then it'll show you Veepeak as one of the available adapters. So I hit connect. Car's not even on right now, just so you guys know. And it says, alright, so I'm going to put it in auxiliary mode. So I just hit the auxiliary mode of the car, retry. I guess I could also have the car running, but I'm just going to do aux mode. Yep, so it's got to be at least an aux power mode. And then from here, we choose 12-volt battery. And then at the bottom it says register new battery. It says, does the capacity of your battery ready installed match it? Yes, it's the same type of battery. Oh, it went out of accessory mode again, so I got to turn it back on. Register battery, register. It's doing its thing.